Yep, is that time of year again. That time of year again where I pull off. Oh crap. Obviously you cannot tell what it says. I'll tell you what it says. So basically it says Super Jimmie booking, aka
Uh,
5 minutes
can
of
I
doom.
can I read it?
Sure, why not?
Here's the keys. Here's for keys for Jimmy to win. One, a random caution for debris, which I think is bullshit. Two, Jeff Gordon has a shitty pit stop and/or race, which he did. Three, Jimmy has a strong run. Four, Jimmy leads, new leader 48. And number five, Jimmy wins. LOL. Enter the John Cena theme song.
And Gore has a shitty finish. Welcome to the 2015
Career win
Folds
number.
of Honor Quick Trip 500 at Atlanta Review. Yay! Alright, just because Jimmy Johnson won, I may have to find an anti-Cena avatar for the next video. That's probably what I'm going to do every time he wins. Have an anti-Cena avatar. Because sharing this picture of the ride, which so far the last ride has become the fuckery ride because it's not been good so far. We're gonna get through this quick because I don't really want to even talk about this bullshit of a fuckery race of this Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 at Atlanta. Talk about Super Cena booking running wild in this one. So there was a 55-minute delay. The caution competition yellow came out on lap number 24. So in the 24th lap, they honored Jeff Gordon by having
Well,
20 points on the leaderboard.
before we get to the cautions and stuff, I want to get this out. NASCAR. If you know the track is not dry enough yet, if you know that it's gonna take a couple of minutes to get the track dry, why would you let the cars on the track do like they did like freaking I lost count of how many laps they went around. What they went around like 10, 15 laps around the track before the race even begun. If you know you're not gonna have to dry it in time, why don't you leave the cars on pit road?
Nobody really knows. I started watching it about after the second caution. I'm telling you, this race is the return of Super Jimmie. I can't say much about that. As Super Jimmie came back. Vince McMahon, Triple H came back and said, "Yeah, we're gonna run NASCAR again, just because fast lane fucking suck. Because of you fuckers, I'm gonna give you what you want, and that is Jimmie Johnson." So yep, never in my entire career of watching NASCAR have I seen Super Jimmie run wild this much. Okay, I'll give you a little leeway. Johnson did not dominate the whole race. It was once he did, nobody can stop him. Nobody. He has the super engine. He has everything super going for him. I knew this going in. Gordon has a crappy qualifying because of bad inspection. Well, Jimmie was also in it, so did
These
Tony
new,
Stewart, Michael
these new.
Annett, Matt DiBenedetto, Mike Wallace. I knew Matt DiBenedetto was going to fail to qualify anyways, but still, the fact that he did not qualify along with Michael Annett and many others, that's just
Oh, by the
redundant.
way, I figure I'd tell everybody about the story that's been going on before the Atlanta. That was a weird story about Travis Quaffle, how his car got stolen and they found it out in the woods. I mean, first of all, who tipped them off? Who was the one that tipped them off? And second, the car looked perfectly fine. I mean, looking from the picture, when it was out in the woods, you could see a plank near the car, a wooden plank, but besides that, the car looked perfectly fine. Pretty sure the underside was all muddy and stuff, but you could have, like, hauled that car right back to Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it would have run, but because of
No,
that, I mean,
they found it when it was too late, and you have to pretty much, if you do not run in practice, you have to withdraw. So they pretty much had no choice. So either way, they were not going to make the field. Even if they brought it back an hour later, I think that would have been too late. They would have
who would want
to be forced
who
to
would
withdraw the car.
who would want to steal a NASCAR stock car and then drop it off in the middle of the woods?
I don't know. This 2015 season is already weird to begin
And
with.
you wanna know what's also weird? The guy that stole the car went on Craigslist. Nork was the one that posted this. I went to go look at it, see if it was true. The guy that stole the car put it on Craigslist at a price of $10,000.
That should be $10,000. Not even worth for that car. I would say a little bit higher, but then again, it is a underfunded team. Anyways, so once the second caution came out for debris, then I noticed that later on in the race that Ricky Stenhouse had the Timothy Peters problem. For those who don't know what happened, in the Camping World Truck Series, Timothy Peters and I believe there was another truck driver, I couldn't remember who it was, that had like, I just thought it was a cable problem. It looked like a cable strip of rubber hanging out at the bottom of the car, which Timothy Peters had yesterday in the Truck Series. So that's why I call it the Timothy Peters method. And then Austin Dillon was just having a horrible race. Austin Dillon had a horrendous race. He had a tire going down, then he spun in the grass, more tire problems, went to the garage, and was 43rd at this point in the race once the third caution came out. The early favorite of this race was Joey Logano, who led every single lap up until the first set of pit stops, which Mike Bliss, yep, Mike Bliss and Joni Nemechek led a lap in this race. So, well, then again, it was during the caution they decided to stay out. And then Logano, Kevin Harvick, Casey Kane were separated from the rest of the field once the restart came out. Then apparently Austin Dillon was going to come back. In fact, there was a little small fire on Austin Dillon's car in the garage, according to the PRN broadcast. And because of Jimmie Johnson winning, Toyota's last win in the Cup Series is still the 2014 Harris 499 at Talladega, which was won by Denny Hamlin. It's also the last time Gibbs won a race. These Toyotas need to step it up. Anyways, on lap 87, Kevin Harvick took the lead, and then the first green flag lead. It was the first green flag lead change of the race. There was a lot of lead changes, but not that much early in the race because Logano was just dominant. Thinking, yep, looks like Joey Logano. Nobody can stop Logano besides Harvick. Because at this point, Joey Logano was trying to become the first driver since Matt Kenseth in 09 to win back-to-back the first two races of the year. It seemed like it was going to be that way. And also, it's kind of like a repeat of the Xfinity Series race when Harvick and Logano were battling for the win. Anyways, at this point in lap 93, Jeff Gordon was in 9th after starting 35th. Jimmie Johnson was in 12th. And then for the second straight race in a row, making his 7th last place finish of his career, Landon Cassill brings out the 4th caution. Any thoughts about Landon Cassill once again finishing last?
Guy's got talent. It's just bad that he's on an underfunded team.
He blew the fuck out of the engine. He blew the engine a ton. And where does this put Landon Cassill with this 7th last place finish? Alright, I did this last week, I'm going to do it again. With 7, he's now tied 18th all-time along with Richard D. Brown, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bobby Hillin Jr., Ned Jarrett, Emil Langley, Jason Leffler, Tiny Lund, Rick Mass, Ryan Newman, Benny Parsons, Hermie Sadler, Ken Schrader, Bill Seifert, Jack Smith, Lake Speed, Scott Speed, Hut Strickland, and Rick Wilson with 7 last-place finishes. Who will take last place at Las Vegas? Hopefully not Cassill, but we'll see. Man, there's another driver that failed again. This one driver has just been horrible so far. Horrible. There's a lot of drivers that has been horrible so far. And yes, I will include this one particular driver that has been doing just horrible. Not because the car is not good. It's just because of what happened. Anyways, 34 cars were on the lead lap. Michael Annett, who replaced Brian Scott, which Brian Scott has gone viral. Oh, by the way, let me get this out of the way. Go fucking watch the video of Brian Scott. That one is more relevant to life than a fucking blue and white, golden red, bitch in black dress.
I haven't seen that yet, but I am willing to check it out tomorrow morning.
It does have a little life lesson in there for the Brian Scott video, not some redundant dress.
All I've heard about it, all I know about it is that it'll actually make the toughest man in the world cry. That's all I've heard about it.
Alright, and then I did decide to give updates on the replacement drivers. David Reagan was in 10th, Regan Smith was in 26th, Joe Nemechek replacing Reagan, Reagan replacing Kyle Busch, Smith replacing Kurt Busch, Nemechek was in 34th in car number 34 after 95 laps. 26 cars from the green flag run at this point was the longest, 26. Harvick took the lead at restart. Didn't took much notes up in there for quite a while. So after 120 laps, it was Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Dale Jr., and Matt Kenseth, the top five. Lap 123, Brett, remember the name Moffitt. I'll talk more about Brett Moffitt, especially near the end when I give out the little mini shout-out awards category awards at the end of the race. But Brian Victus will be back next week, Las Vegas. I hope he has a much better year than last year. He and Truex disappointed me a lot. Truex more.
After what Brett Moffitt did, would you consider giving Brett Moffitt possibly a part-time or maybe a full-time ride?
No, I would not give him full-time just yet. And I will say, and I'll explain why. I think he'll still be in the 66, and somehow, some way he'll be in the 66 or super subbing drivers down the road. But we'll get there when it's almost over. So anyways, Gordon, this is when the five moves of doom was slowly developing. Gordon was starting to find grip, and he had not so good tire management. He struggled all day for the most part. Yes, he was in the top 15, top 10 for most of it, but he's just not in contention at all. He was in 8th after 124 laps. Apparently, one of the main stories is if you drive so hard, the tires get worn out real quick. Asked Matt Kenseth multiple times about that one because he was 20 laps away from, because there was still a lot of laps before green flag pit stops. There was like 20 away. So, yeah, not good. So after 127 laps, Kevin Harvick was pulling away from Denny Hamlin by 2.29 seconds. I told you the gifts were going to be good. Just once again, couldn't pull it off. Harvick was strong in that race. Like I said, if Harvick can minimize those problems that he had in the beginning of the year before the chase, he will be dominant this year, big time. And Keselowski tried to pull away from Gordon. Who cares? Austin Dillon returned 41 laps down after 130 laps were completed. Harvick was looking for his third win in the last 4 races, 6 top 2 finish. Yeah, that happened again. So Kevin Harvick has been the best driver of the last 10 races going back to last year, big time. And this is, they think about Harvick, he was quick, but he blew the engine. He blew the engine in practice. So the way that Harvick was doing, despite the engine problem with a backup, it shows you that Harvick has a strong car, regardless. I think Harvick could be a championship contender big time again. If they minimize those little things, they got it. I think they will find a way to win the championship again. We'll see. We'll see. Then Tony Stewart was just struggling all over the place. He was running in 24. He was pretty much outside the top 20 and the top 25 all day. And also a little side note, PRN mentioned that without Kyle Busch, some of the excitement is gone. I do agree to some aspects that without Kyle Busch, there's something missing. There's always something missing with Kyle Busch. But then again, when it's trucks and Xfinity, but in Cup, I'm not sure.
Here's my question for you. Ever since Kyle Busch got hurt, doesn't the racing seem kind of, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and I hate Kyle Busch's guts, but don't you think the racing feels kind of weird without Kyle Busch being there?
It feels weird. There's no Busch brothers to begin with. You don't have Kurt. You don't have Kyle. It loses its luster, in my opinion. And it's going to be a while till we can get Kyle Busch back to it. It's pretty much up to them. Somebody's got to make it exciting. And Kyle Larson is pretty much the one guy that could make it exciting. As long as
I read a post that was put on from NASCAR themselves on Facebook saying how if Kyle Busch gets healthy back in time and he comes back into like July or August and if he makes a really fast recovery, he might come back in time to get that 18 car in the chase. What do you think is possible?
He has to be in the top 30. Even if he wins, he needs to be in the top 30 in points. He needs to really have like top 5, top 10s, or no, top 5s to even have a chance to be in the top 30 in points. Only way he'll be in the chase. Top 5s every race when he comes back. Only way. He has to be in the top 30 in points to be eligible in the chase. Otherwise, no, he won't be in.
I just can't wait to see the reaction he gets when he does come back. Are people going to cheer him because he's back, or are people still going to boo him?
Hence the competition. If the competition still has a struggling luster without Kyle, then they probably would want Kyle back soon. Who knows? But needs to recover.
Do you think? What do you think the reaction? What do you think the reaction's going to be when he does come back? Is it going to be full of cheers, or is it going to be full of boos?
Probably cheers. I still say it'll be a Triple H 2002 return. Because keep in mind, when he was injured, he was a heel. Oh boy, I really did not want to reference WWE at all in this review, but it pretty much became that way later on. Anyways, after they went for a break, Sam Hornish had some tape. Apparently, there was some grill damage that he had early in the race. Hornish was just not in his game in some aspects.
I feel bad for Hornish. This is one of the greatest IndyCar drivers, in my opinion, one of the greatest IndyCar drivers I've ever seen in my life, and he goes over to NASCAR and this happens.
Alright, Danny Hamlin was starting to gain ground on Kevin Harvick, who led 40 laps at this point in the race, was 137 completed. This is when green flag pit stop started to begin. Matt Kenseth came in. Jeff Burton. I'm going to say this about Jeff Burton right now. It's one thing that you get lapped 3 times and have a mediocre, not so good finish. It's one thing you could be 2 to 3 laps down. There's another story when you lose 8 to 10 laps like Billy Standridge or Rick Mast type. No offense to Billy Standridge or Rick Mast, that's what I came up with. Or even a Derek Cope in the 2000s when he doesn't park the car in 03. It's one thing that you lose 3 laps. It's another thing that you lose 7 to 8 in your Cup debut. Horrible Cup debut. Bad. Yes, I know he's underfunded, but he makes... I don't see him... If this keeps happening, I don't see him even running by Daytona in July. I don't. Career suicide move. We're going to probably have our first year in NASCAR that no Rookie of the Year will be awarded. Unless Ryan Blaney decides to declare himself being Cup, then he will be Rookie of the Year. At this moment, he's not in the Rookie of the Year status. He makes at this point, he makes Kevin Conway look decent. That I know Conway wasn't 7 laps down.
I guarantee you, next year, we'll know who the Rookie of the Year is.
Chase Elliott is the only one that I know, unless Ryan Blaney goes full time, but I don't know how long.
It's easily gonna be Chase Elliott next year.
Even if there's one rookie, at least he'll make the Rookie of the Year be worthy. We're back to what we used to have from the frickin' Stephen Lights and Kevin Conway one Rookie of the Year. This is gonna be. He makes Stephen. If this, I hope he gets better. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in the best of mood. That's why I'm that livid why I'm so critical about these drivers right now. Jeff Burton makes Stephen Light look like a better rookie, and Stephen Light is probably one of the most forgettable Rookie of the Year winners ever. Remember Stephen Light won a Busch Series race at Richmond in 05 for Robert Yates? Pepper Sparm remembers.
I don't even remember. I don't even know who the heck you're talking about.
He was the driver of the 33 before they had Brian Scott driving then and there.
Oh. Speaking of Brian Scott, I hope that guy... I would like to see Brian Scott make his Sprint Cup debut soon.
He's already made his debut. He won the damn pole at Talladega last year.
Well, give him a full-time ride in Sprint Cup then. I'm pretty sure that guy could. The question is
who goes. The question is who goes. Newman or Menard. Because remember, Ty Dillon will be coming up soon.
Menard.
The only way I see I think Newman's sponsorship will last about a couple more years, unless, let me see. No, I think Scott may have to go find another ride because I think Childress is willing to be willing to expand to a four-car team with Ty down the road. I wouldn't be surprised, but anyways, then the next lap, at 138, Joey Logano came into pit. So did Newman, McMurray, and Almirola. Afterwards, it was Harvick, Horner, Stenhouse, Biffle, Bowman, Edwards, Kane, Truex, Boyer, Allmendinger, and Larson. Danny Hamlin took the lead. Then Keselowski took the lead after Hamlin, Reagan, Moffitt, Smith, Jr., Johnson, Gordon, Gong. How the fuck Brendan Gong does not have a sponsorship? I thought he would have some sort of funding since his father owns one of the biggest casino brands in Vegas. Danica Patrick and Casey Mears also went to the pits. Then on lap 141, I noticed that Brad Keselowski's roof camera was cracked. I don't know what happened. It must be some sort of debris or something that went through the camera and broke. I have no idea. Anyways, JJ Yeley, Tony Stewart, Justin Allgaier, Cole Witt, David Gilliland, Josh Wise, and Keselowski all went to the pits. Then after the cycle pit stop, Matt Kenseth fled. Bob Bernard, Joe Nemechek, Michael McDowell pitted. So the top five after the cycle pit stop there was Kenseth, Harvick, Hamlin, Logano Jr. A 29.71 lap from Matt Kenseth compared to Kevin Harvick's 29.17 according to Fox.
I feel bad for anybody that was using Race Buddy on Brad Keselowski. Because if what you're saying is true, if the roof camera broke, that's the camera that controls the Race Buddy, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's the camera that controls the Race Buddy. Once that camera breaks, that's it.
No, there's other drivers they have on boards. You can switch from like Logano, Harvick, Boyer. I don't remember who the full list of the Race Buddy for this one.
Well, they probably lost the roof camera on Brad's car.
Yeah. Not a good pit stop by Gordon. 5 moves of doom is coming. We're almost getting there. Before we even talk about 5 moves of doom, I'll let Rain talk. But after 150 laps, I'll let you talk because I really do need to take care of something. If you want to get something off my chest, but keep it race related. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Anyways, continuing on. Jr. was having a strong run had a strong run exiting turn number 1 and entering turn 2. He went by Joey Logano, so Dale Jr. What would it be? That was a battle for 4th. Yeah, it would have to be 4th because Harvick was still leading. On lap 145, and then Joey Logano had a loose wheel, or he thought he had a loose wheel. Then Matt Kenseth got loose in the apron. Harvick went by him in a snap. Harvick took the lead. And then on a side note, Jeff Burnham was 37th. Ron Hornaday making his first start since the 2003 Ford 400, which was also known as the last Winston Cup race. Bobby Labonte won the race after Bill Elliott cut a tire on the last lap of the back straightaway. Was in 41st after 150 laps. They are my poor runs of the day. Poor runs. And I do wish Hornaday would be better than his horrendous 2001 season. Everybody had a horrible 2001 rookie campaign except for Harvick. Even Kurt Busch had a horrible rookie year. Not good finishes. He failed to qualify. Then the following year, everybody were gone except for Harvick, Busch, and Casey Atwood. Casey Atwood still wasn't good. Harvick was horrible in 02. Kurt Busch was solid near the end.
2002 rookie class, still, in my opinion, one of the greatest rookie classes of all time.
You had Newman, you had Johnson, Shauna Robinson. Who knows? 2004.
Biffle to a certain extent, even though his full year was in 03.
Biffle didn't drove 7 races. In fact, I'm surprised he only made before replacing an injured Bobby Hamilton at Richmond. I want to talk about Richmond 02.
Oh, Jamie McMurray, 2002. Jamie McMurray, 2002.
He was not a rookie. He was a rookie in 03, but I'm considering the ones who were eligible, which were Johnson, Newman, Shauna Robinson. Who else? I think those were the only guys that I recall. Let me see. NASCAR Rookie of the Year. I really do not want to talk about this race. That's why we're kind of going a little bit off topic here. Carl Long and Hermie Sadler were considered rookies, but let's take a look at the Rookie of the Year classes. 2015 right now is Jeff Burton and Ryan DiBenedetto. I mean, Matt DiBenedetto. Fuck. Matt DiBenedetto, not Ryan DiBenedetto. Fuck. So far, apparently, Brian Scott, Ty Dillon, and Brian Blaney are considered for 2016. I still find it bullshit that Trevor Bain is not eligible. Otherwise, he would have swept the Rookie of the Year class. How do we went from Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon, Justin Allgaier, Colt Whitt, Michael Nett, Alex Bowman, Ryan Truex, Parker Kligerman, and Trevor Bain to just DiBenedetto and Burton? Compared to 2013, you had Stenhouse, Danica Patrick, Timmy Hill. In 2012, you had Stephen Light, Josh Weiss. Timmy Hill was also eligible, but he did not declare. We're back. I think this year we're back to what we were in, like in 2010, 2011, 2012. We only had one or two guys. Remember those Rookie of the Years? 2012, Stephen Light. 2011, Andy Lally, who pretty much quit the sport. Well, he pretty much had a bad fallout with TRG and went back to sports cars. I thought he was decent. And Kevin Conway. He makes. I don't know about O2 being the best rookie class. I don't know about O2 being a rookie class.
Some people claim the 79 rookie class is one of the greatest of all time. And
I probably agree with that one. You had Earnhardt and Labonte, Gant, and Joe Milliken. Let me see against a credible rookie class. Let me see a credible rookie class.
93 because of Gordon.
Yeah, you had 90. That's the only closest one, even though all of them were outside the top 10, but they were still. You may have to go. I think I don't know, because 99 was an okay group. 2000 was an okay group. 2003, 04 maybe, but it's hard to tell which one's the best rookie class. I will go say 06 maybe. Because you had Hamlin, Boyer, Truex, Sorensen, Yaley, Stremme. Yes, there's some that ended up being nothing, like Chad Chaffin, Brent Sherman, and David Gilliland, who became eligible because he drove the second half in the 38. All right, let's get back on topic. So let's get back on track before Rain can take over for a little bit and give his thoughts to a certain extent. Anyways, so where is it? Logano loses 5th to Jimmie Johnson on lap 151. Johnson was now in 4th after having a bad pit problem. Oh, here comes Super Jimmie. He's gonna define the odds. Kenseth has a 1 in 45 race. He was running in 6. So at halfway. Okay, we're now at halfway. So here's the rundown at halfway. Kevin Harvick was leading Joey Logano. Dale Jr. was in 3rd. Jimmie Johnson in 4th. Joey Logano 5th. Carl Edwards 6th. Matt Kenseth 7th. Casey Kane 8th. Ryan Newman 9th. Brad Keselowski 10th. 11th to 20th follows Martin Truex Jr., Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger, Jamie McMurray, Eric Almirola, Paul Menard, Danica Patrick, and Casey Mears. The last 2 cars on the lead lap, so there were 22 at this point, was David Reagan and Greg Biffle. Brett Moffitt was the 23rd, the first car a lap down. He pretty much stayed on the lead lap for the entire race, except for that little brief moment. But he hung in there. He hung in there. But that's where he was somewhat running for most of the race too. I should let you know about that. Regan Smith, 24th. Trevor Bain, 25th. 26th, Ricky Stenhouse. 27th, Justin Allgaier. 28th was Tony Stewart. 29th, Cole Whitt. David Gilliland, 30th. Here's the rest of the field. 31st, Hornish, 32nd. Alex Bowman, 33rd. Joe Nemechek, 34th. Brendan Gaughan, 35th. Michael Annett, 36th. Michael McDowell, 37th. Jeff Burton, 38th. J.J. Yaley, 39th. Mike Bliss, 40th. 40th was Josh Weiss, 41st. Ron Hornaday tied Austin Dillon, 42nd. And Landon Castle dead last. So at this point, there were 14 lead changes among 8 drivers. The average speed was 135.820 miles an hour. There were 4 cautions for 24 laps. My style of the first half is that whoever takes the lead is pretty much going to dominate and probably win it, or so I thought. In the first half of the race, I was okay. There was some exciting moment, but it was just okay. It's just long green runs. And you know what happens when there's long green runs. And I'm going to leave you with Rain talking for the next 20-25 minutes because I do need to take care of something.
Yeah, first half of the race, tuned in, and man, those pace laps, man. You couldn't just leave the cars on pit road so you could dry off the track. You had to let them out on the track just so they can warm up their tires and possibly run out of fuel. I mean, I know people are like, how are they gonna run out of fuel? They're only going like 50, 60 miles an hour. If you ride around the track at that speed for a while, eventually you're gonna run out. So I was like, why would you not leave the cars on pit road if you know the track is not yet dry enough? Just stupid. When the race got going, I watched the first 20 to 30 laps. Pretty decent race. Logano had a pretty fast car. Logano is really surprising me right now. I mean, fourth place, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he finished fourth today. That dude's really stepping up. I mean, unlike horse, unlike fucking horseface Brad Keselowski. Fuck him, by the way. I don't care where he finished. Uh, Logano's really stepping up, and I gotta give that man props. I mean, to come out of Daytona 500 winning that, and then come this week to Atlanta and pull off what he did here tonight, pretty impressive. I can't wait to see what he does at Vegas, if he's gonna have the same luck or if bad luck's gonna hit him. But yeah, Harvick. I thought for sure Harvick was gonna win because every time they go to Atlanta, Harvick's always got a dominant car, usually. Yes, I knew he blew an engine in practice. That still wasn't going to stop him. They still have those Hendrick engines, and I thought for sure Harvick was going to win. I didn't think Jimmie was going to really win this. Besides Harvick, my other pick would have been Carl Edwards. That was my second pick to win this race. If it wasn't Harvick, I would have picked Carl Edwards. A third pick, probably Denny Hamlin, but that didn't happen, unfortunately, because, well, Hamlin wrecked near the end of the race. And got involved with Gordon, and Gordon hit the concrete wall, which I honestly think is bullcrap. That NASCAR considers itself a safe sport, trying to make their the drivers as safe as possible, but yet you design these Gen 6 cars to where they're safe, and yes, they are safe. Don't get me wrong, but you're a sport trying to prove to everyone that you're trying to make it as safe as you can, but you have sections of the track at all tracks where there's no safety barrier at all, and you think drivers can't hit that corner? You think, oh, there's no possible way they can go in that angle and hit that corner. Yes, they can. I think it's time for NASCAR to step up and realize something and say, hey, we need to put safety barriers around all corners of the track. Thank God Gordon wasn't hurt in this wreck. I mean, sure, he hit the wall pretty hard, but he did not hit it hard, if you know what I'm trying to say. Thank God he didn't, because if he would have, it'd probably been a repeat of Vegas a couple of years ago. And I did not want to see that one bit. And I could tell Gordon was ticked off. I could tell Gordon was ticked off when he got out of the car and pointed at the wall. I could tell he was ticked off, and I don't blame him one bit. And I saw the interview that Gordon did after he got out of the medical center, and you can just tell from the look on his face and the tone in his voice, it sounded like he really, really wanted to say something that would piss NASCAR off, but he held it back. I mean, am I mad at him for not giving out his opinion? A little bit, but then again, I guess, he is an ambassador to the sport. I mean, he is one of the sport's biggest names of all time. So, I mean, even though it's Gordon, what's Gordon gonna do? I mean, it's up to NASCAR. It's up to fucking Brian France, and we know how Brian France likes shoving money up his ass. But yeah, what I think they need to do, if I was the owner of NASCAR, I would get all these tracks to put in safety barriers, or at least higher barriers, like they did at Daytona. Because sooner or later, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but sooner or later, somebody's going to get involved in a wreck that's going to be worse, and they're going to end up worse than Kyle. If this keeps up, no matter how safe these cars may be, if this keeps up, sooner or later somebody might get seriously injured or possibly killed because of the concrete wall. Enough is enough of the concrete wall. The safety barrier is safe for a reason. It absorbs the contact. Those concrete walls, you know what they absorb? Full head-on collisions. These concrete walls can end careers. Enough is enough. Put safety barriers on all corners of the track. I don't care how much money it fucking costs. You mean to tell me a track like Daytona and Talladega, two of the most richest tracks, most expensive tracks in NASCAR right now, cannot afford to put safety barriers in on all sides of the track? What's next? What's next? Fucking Junior hits the concrete wall and suffers like a concussion or something? Is that really what you want, NASCAR? Because it's probably going to go to that fucking limit. It might get to the limit where Junior gets hurt and then they'll have to do something. They don't do nothing after Kyle gets hurt. What are they going to do next if another big star gets hurt? What are they going to do if Junior gets hurt? What are they going to do if Gordon gets hurt? What are they going to do if Johnson gets hurt? The fact that they did not step up and do something after Kyle gets hurt makes me fucking sick to my stomach. Concrete wall, concrete wall, concrete wall. At all fucking tracks. I'm sick of it. I really fucking am. It's time for NASCAR to step up, man up, grow a pair of fucking balls and say, hey, look, we're not gonna, if you can't make the track safe, we're not racing here. I don't care if NASCAR's got a license to race at all these tracks. They can step up and tell these tracks to put safety barriers in at all the tracks. If the track officials, if the track people refuse to do it, then don't race there no more. Go to another track. Go to freaking North Wilkesboro. Renovate that. Go to freaking Rockingham. Renovate that. Go to freaking go to Nashville Super Speedway. I don't think they race NASCAR hasn't raced there in a long time. Renovate that place. I would sure love to go back and see those races again. Hell, Nashville Super Speedway up in Nashville, pretty darn good racing. And the fact they don't race NASCAR there no more makes me a little sad. You got these freaking tracks that you say are built for safety, yet you have concrete walls. And I hate this response that a lot of people will say, but they usually hit the safety barrier. They don't usually hit the concrete wall. Yeah, but still, they still hit the concrete wall some times. What are you going to do when someone gets really hurt? NASCAR, what are you going to do? You're just going to play it off like you did Kyle Busch? Say, oh, let's just put tire barriers around. Is that what you're going to do? Dumb. Just dumb. But anyway, continuing on. I'm sorry, I went into a little bit of rant mode there, but I had to get that off my chest. Jimmie got the lead around that time. Around the time Jimmie got the lead, I had to go take care of some things. I had to take care of a lot of stuff. I came back and there was about 78 laps to go. I saw the ending of the race. I thought Harvick was going to catch Jimmie, but once Jimmie got that run, I knew it was over. And I'm not a Jimmie Johnson hater. I don't really care for Jimmie that much because, I mean, everybody calls him the John Cena of NASCAR, and I don't really care for Jimmie. I don't hate him. I do have respect for him, but for now. But I mean, I would like to see Harvick win, but you know, Jimmie's Jimmie. I mean, what do you expect? And Jimmie Johnson gets his 71st career win. That kind of scares me a little bit that he's 5 wins away from you know who, aka Dale Earnhardt Sr. That's kind of scary because, and I mean that in a way of what are NASCAR fans gonna do when Johnson ties Earnhardt and then passes Earnhardt for career wins? What are they gonna do? That's something that I've been thinking about for a while now. What's are NASCAR fans going to do when Johnson passes Earnhardt's record of 76? What are they going to do when he passes Darrell Waltrip's record? I mean, eventually Jimmie Johnson's probably going to become the fourth most all-time career wins in NASCAR history. Sure, Gordon is third all-time, but once you give Jimmie a couple more years, maybe this year, Johnson becomes the fourth all-time. Well, actually, take that back. I don't think it's going to be this year. I get about maybe a couple more years. Johnson becomes the fourth most all-time career wins in NASCAR history, behind Gordon, Pearson, and Petty. And there's a chance that if Jimmie stays around long enough, he'll pass Gordon in career wins. And that's scary thinking about that, because you don't know what NASCAR fans' reactions are going to be. But yeah, I guess congrats Jimmie on the win. Looks like Super Jimmie's coming back. This new rule package works out perfectly fine for him. I mean, 2013 he had a horrible year. Yes, he won the. Well, I mean 2014. Excuse me, 2013. He won the title. My mistake. 2014 was a horrible year for Jimmie. I mean, besides the Michigan win, which my friend Marco was at that track, by the way, when Jimmie won. Looks like Jimmie Johnson of 2013 starting to come back, and if that's the case, we might see Jimmie in the Final Four. I mean, you can make the chase. I've heard a lot of people say the chase has been upgraded because of Jimmie Johnson. NASCAR doesn't want Jimmie Johnson to get the 7th title, but the way Johnson's going right now, it looks like he's going to get that 7th title no matter what. And I don't know what NASCAR is going to do if he does. That's all I have to say about that. As for Brett Moffitt, congrats on your 9th place finish. I think it was 9th place. Yeah, I believe you finished 9th. Congratulations on your 9th place finish. Would like to see you get a top 5, but you know, 8th. Well, he finished 8th. Congrats, Brett Moffitt, on the 8th place finish, best career finish, and I would like to see Brett Moffitt race in another car after Vickers comes back, but most likely he'll probably be with Michael Waltrip Racing, probably in the 66 or something, and he's going to be stuck in a fucking piece of shit car that can't run for crap. This 55 car he had today was pretty darn good at the end, and I know he kind of messed up Harvick on the restart, but hey, what can you say? Moffitt was trying, and I'm really happy for him finishing 8th. I mean, a guy nobody really had in their top 10 finish in the top 10, and I don't think he'll ever get a finish higher than this in his career. So I say for him, take this finish for granted. Your best career finish, possibly the best finish you'll ever have in your entire life in NASCAR, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm trying to say that as meaningful as possible. I don't see him finishing better than 8th ever. Congratulations, Brett Moffitt. Congrats, Jimmie Johnson, on the win. And for Vegas, I like to see maybe Carl Edwards or maybe Kyle Larson win that. That's all I have to say about that. Want to get this off topic real quick, but I heard from a couple of people that D Criminal was at the track today. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, he does live in Atlanta. He lives about maybe an hour away from the track. I heard rumors that he was at Atlanta today, and if he was, congrats. I still am mad at you because you talked to freaking cunthead, aka CH, aka Lewis, aka for fucking Avon. hashtag fuckface. Still mad at you for talking to them. And if you ever want to come back to XPRL, I mean, well, you'll have to gain everybody's trust again, decriminal. That's all I have to say about that.
If you want to talk something else, Rain, if it's like if you want to rant about the fucking dress or whatever, you go ahead. Or if it's like racing nostalgia talk, go ahead because I'm talking with one of my with my brother right now that I haven't talked in quite some time. So go ahead. And I
Okay.
do apologize, folks. I will be there. Just I have to take care of this because I haven't talked to. It's family
I'm pretty sure
priorities.
you have some. I'm pretty sure you'll have something to say about the concrete wall, but we'll get to that in a little
No,
bit.
I have a lot of things about Super Cena in a moment.
Okay. I mean,
Just keep it racing related
yes,
though. That's
safety
all.
bear. All right, racing related. Well, you said racing related, so I can't wait to see what happens at Vegas next week. It's gonna be really odd because I mean the first two tracks were kind of held in cold weather. Daytona wasn't that cold, but it was still considered cold. Well, cold. And Atlanta was just cold, just cold. But now you're going to a track where you're going to be in about 80-degree heat, possible 90-degree. I'm not saying it's going to be 100 degrees. I mean, it's not spring yet, even though it's March 1st. I say give it about maybe 1 or 2 weeks. The temperature starts heating up, and we start getting about 60, 70 degrees again. I do think we'll get one more snowstorm, but that'll be it. I'm glad this warm weather's coming in, and it's going to be a factor on these NASCAR tracks. Can't wait to see what happens. As for who I would like to see win Las Vegas, I would like to see Carl Edwards win in the 19. If not him, I love to see Kyle Larson get his first career win. And I think Las Vegas would be a perfect spot for Larson to get his first career win at. Be pretty special. Besides those two, maybe Matt Kenseth. Those are my three picks. Larson, Edwards, and Kenseth for Vegas. And hopefully nobody hits the concrete wall at Vegas like Gordon did today at Atlanta. And I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm just being truthful. I hope no one hits the concrete wall at Vegas because if somebody hits that concrete wall at Vegas, then that should be a signal for NASCAR to wake up. Uh, XPRL, which is racing, sort of racing related. We're going to Michigan this Friday night. I mean, I know this is a little off topic, but we're going to Michigan Friday night, and coming down to four people. Me, Kyle, Pro, Dynamite. I would say Manic, but he ain't going to be there. I hope Pro races. I don't know if Pro's been seeing the videos lately. I think, in my opinion, I don't want to say this because it probably make Otto upset, but I think Pro is legit done. I don't think if Pro does race Michigan, that might be his final race, and then he's going to call it. He's going to call it and probably quit. I hope he doesn't because he is one of the most respected guys I've had in my league in a long, long time. Now Snipe, I'm not saying he's. Am I saying he's the most respected driver of all time? No. Most respected driver of all time would probably have to go to maybe that's a tough question right there. You could say maybe Palm, even though some people don't like him. I mean, he is kind of well respected. Could say maybe Dynamite Dude to a certain extent. He's very well respected. Uh, Michigan's going to be pretty interesting. 2 more weeks left in XPRL Season 4. That's kind of scary thinking about that. 2 more weeks, and we're finally going to crown a champion. And I've been hearing all these rumors and stuff about how the Final Four are going to rig it to where Zombie don't win the title. There's going to be no rigging. I'm going to make damn sure of that. If I catch anyone trying to rig the Final Four at Homestead, there will be severe consequences. I'm not playing. Let the Final Four race each other out. I don't care if you guys hold a grudge against Zombie. Let him race it out. If he wins the title, he wins the title. Get fucking over it. Don't fucking quit the league because you want to be a fucking crybaby because you don't like a certain driver winning the title. Boo-hoo. I didn't like Brad Keselowski winning the title in 2012, but you know what? I didn't stop watching NASCAR. I kept right on watching. I still watch NASCAR to this day. So, of this possibility of people quitting the league because Zombie might potentially win the title, grow up. Please, just grow up. If Zombie wins, I guess he proves he's the best he's one of the best drivers in the league. If he wins the title, he proves he's one of the best drivers in the league. If Sniper wins the title, same thing goes to him. Since Marco's kind of is locked in right now, if Marco wins the title, same goes to him. If you don't like Marco, if you don't like Sniper winning the title, get over it. Grow up. You want to know what I mean by that? Come back next season, prove to yourself and everyone else that you want to win the title. Don't freaking quit my league after Homestead because somebody you don't like wins the title. I'm sick and tired of that. If Zombie wins the title, boo-hoo. If Sniper wins the title and you don't like it, boo-hoo. If Marco wins the title and somebody doesn't like it, boo-hoo. If Kyle, Emerson, me, Pro, lock in and win the title and somebody doesn't like it, boo-hoo. Get over it. I understand we all have opinions, but it doesn't mean quit my freaking league because you don't like a certain person winning the title. I'm sick and tired of that. Get over it. It's racing. It's a freaking video game. That's all I have to say about that. I will possibly be doing a live stream sometime soon on NASCAR 2003. I don't know if Otto's going to be there. Possibly, maybe Emerson will be there, depending on if he can join and if he's got the time. I'll be doing a live stream, 50%. It'll be on times 4 for fuel and tires. It'll be run at Michigan on NASCAR 2003, the new Michigan, the 2012 Michigan, excuse me. Yes, I know it's 2015, but it's the latest Michigan track I could find. It works perfectly fine. It looks really smooth. I might be doing a test later on tonight after the hangout's over with Otto. I might do a test with Otto, see if it works out perfectly fine. I might play a little NASCAR racing in here, see if it works out perfectly fine. But yeah, good luck to all the drivers in XPRL at Michigan, and good luck to Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Jimmie Johnson as they make their way to Las Vegas. At least I know. At least I know when somebody hits the concrete wall on NASCAR. At least I know if somebody hits the concrete wall on NASCAR 14, they don't get hurt. Of course, it's a video game, but who do I have getting that final spot? I don't know. Oh, I think personally, in my opinion, it's going to be Kyle. I think Kyle's going to get it, but you never know. Thoughts on people comparing NASCAR and WWE? There are a lot of thoughts about that. I've heard about that. Emerson, I believe, brought it up. even though he don't like WWE, he calls it a 3-hour puppet show, which I'm getting fucking sick and tired of him saying that. The reason why people compare WWE to NASCAR, and this is the number one reason why, and I might do a solo video about this on my channel. I might do a series on this, like conspiracy theories. It might be a Saturday night thing, conspiracy theories with Rain 25. But one of the biggest conspiracy theories is that NASCAR is somewhat rigged, and that's why they compare it to WWE a lot, because WWE is staged and stuff, and WWE is sort of rigged, if you could say it, because it's staged. A lot of people say NASCAR is the same way. Now, back in the day, people said NASCAR wasn't the NASCAR was just about getting in the car, going out and prove you're the best driver on the track, which it still is to this day. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens in NASCAR, in real NASCAR, that you question. Like, one, these debris cautions. How come they don't really show the debris? How come they never show the debris? I watched the Xfinity race. The Xfinity race on Saturday night, when they had the debris caution, they never showed where the debris came from. They never talked about where the debris came from. All they said is cautioned out for debris. Where was the debris? I didn't see no debris. I didn't see nothing that fell off a car. You mean to tell me that these cautions are being called for debris, that they don't show us what it is? I find that really fishy. The fact that NASCAR has competition cautions, even though I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that's just to get 4 tires and gas." Yes, I know, but it still doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. Am I saying NASCAR is rigged? No. All I'm saying is I do think there are some similarities between WWE and NASCAR in a way that NASCAR may be a little bit rigged. It may be possibly rigged. I mean, I honestly don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I don't know. This race at Atlanta, ugly weather. I Not the prettiest weather ever when watching a NASCAR race. I mean, Daytona, of course, last week, beautiful sunny weather, and I like that. And then coming to Atlanta and having this, the weather pretty much told the story of this race. Dull, foggy, boring, rainy, made you want to go to sleep. The weather pretty much told the story for this race, and the race lived up to the weather. Boring, dull, made you want to go to sleep, and had a really, really boring finish, and a guy winning the race that not a whole lot of people care about. I mean, hopefully Vegas is a lot better. I mean, I know for sure it ain't gonna rain when they go to Vegas. I mean, when's the last time Las Vegas had a rain delay? I mean, I can't even remember the last time. I don't think they've ever had a rain delay at Las Vegas. So definitely for sure they'll go green flag at Vegas next week on time. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm gonna go take a little break as well. I gotta go do something. Okay, I'll be right back in a little bit. I just came back in and saw that. Yep. If YouTube didn't have the copyright restrictions, I would play the John Cena theme song, but yeah. Emerson, if you're watching, Please don't jizz towards the computer screen or wherever you're watching this on. Please don't jizz all over this. I know you like Jimmie, but come on, dude. I'll be right back.
Well, I'm back for a moment. Like, I do apologize that this video is gonna take longer than I hope, but based on the first picture I put, Super Jimmie. It's on the Daytona 500 starting grid video I made on my art channel. I put it with John Cena's music. Yes, Jimmie wins. LOL. Hooray. Who cares? And then the other picture was the top 10 finishing results of the 2002 Chevy Monte Carlo 400. You know that race was fucking weird when Jeff Green finishes in third, and you had Greg Biffle in the 55 leading. You had Kenny Wallace in the 23 leading. You had Dave Blaney, Mike Skinner, Mike Wallace in the top 10, Kyle Petty in the top 20. Jeff Gordon had tire problems. Sterling Marlin, Jimmy Spencer, Terry Labonte, Elliott Sadler wrecked. Michael Walter wrecked into water barriers while leading, becoming a 7-car lead lap field to 20 in one lap.
As weird as that race was, no race will ever conquer the 2007 Coca-Cola 600. Casey Mears, Kyle Petty finished in the top 5.
J.J. Yaley was second. If you want to talk about rigged races or whatever, go ahead. Go ahead, talk about rigged races. It's pretty much you on the floor in this one so far.
Nah, I'll probably cover that for a video in the future.
No, go ahead. You can talk about it in that video too, but you can go ahead and talk about it now if you like.
The reason why people compare WWE to NASCAR, well, take a look at, Otto said bring up possible rigged races. Let me bring up one. 1998 Daytona 500. Yes, one of the greatest NASCAR races of all time because Earnhardt won in his 20th Daytona 500. But here's the thing. 1998, 50th anniversary of NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt put as one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. Okay. Dale Earnhardt's 20th try at winning the 500. 1998, one of the greatest years in sports history. John Elway won the Super Bowl about a week prior. Dale Earnhardt had a penny glued to the dashboard of his car. Dale Earnhardt won that race. 20th attempt, 20th try, in the 40th annual Daytona 500 in the 50th season of NASCAR. Tell me, please tell me you don't think that's a little bit strange. 2011 Daytona 500. Trevor Bayne. All the week of Trevor Bayne, Trevor Bayne, Trevor Bayne, Trevor Bayne, shoved down your throat. And sure enough, who wins the race in his second start? Trevor Bayne. Where's Trevor Bayne now? Full-time ride with the 6 car. Never been relevant since. Never been relevant since. If you want to bring up a recent race, 2014 Brickyard 400. The entire week, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Gordon. The race that happened on the same day the race happened, same day that they had the NASCAR race, it was called Jeff Gordon Appreciation Day all over the country. Sure enough, Jeff Gordon wins the Brickyard 400. 1994, won the Brickyard 400. 2004, won the Brickyard 400. 2014, won the Brickyard 400. Every 10 years that ends in a 4, Gordon wins the Brickyard 400. You don't think that's a coincidence? Especially considering the fact NASCAR was shoving him down everybody's throat before that Brickyard 400, and he ends up winning it. And if people think, I'm not saying NASCAR's rigged, I'm just giving out some reasons where I think it possibly could have been. If you want to bring up one of the biggest ones that will make people argue, 2013 Richmond. 2013 Richmond, the one where Boyer spun out with Michael Waltrip Racing. Screwed Gordon out of the chase. And then immediately a week later, they put Gordon into the chase as the 13 driver. They didn't have to do that, but they did it anyway. Tell me that wasn't strange. Tell me that does not smell like it was rigged, especially considering the fact where Michael Waltrip even said it was rigged. Michael Waltrip said it was rigged for Boyer to do that. Boyer was supposed to have done that. It was rigged. That race was, that whole plot right there was a rig. Look, if Nort sees this video and they think my comments about NASCAR possibly being rigged are stupid, okay, that's your opinion. I'm not saying it is rigged. I'm just saying there's been times in NASCAR history where you had to look at it, where you've looked at some moments in NASCAR history and you gotta be going, that just seems very weird. Those are some of the moments I brought up. That's all I have to say about that. I don't know how many viewers we got right now, but shout out to anyone who's watching.
Alright, real quick, let's get through this a little bit quicker. Before we even get to the golden stuff, because it's taking a little longer than I hope, but then again, like I said, family's priority. Alright. Lap 166, Evan Harvick laps David Reagan, in which Harvick led 101 and 162 laps in the Xfinity race. He led 70 at this point. Matt Kenseth had right rear tire problems. He had to pit again. So short pitting was the name of the story. Then on lap 172, Brad Keselowski had a loose wheel. He described it as snappy loose. Danica Patrick, the first mention of her, was running in 18th. She was doing okay. Not much to say about Danica at this point. Lap 174. Happened. Debris yellow. And I even put it on my notes. Super Jimmie time. Same old shit. Here comes the bullshit. Casey Mears gets the free pass running in that area. He was running around the mid-20s all day long. He wasn't really a factor in this race at all that I would expect. Matt Kenseth was the 24th, one lap down after the 76 lap green flag run. Denny Hamlin had an 11.6 pit stop. Harvick 12.3. Jimmie Johnson 11.9. Junior 12.2. Denny Hamlin exits in first. So the top 10 afterwards, it was Hamlin, Junior, Harvick, Johnson, Logano, Edwards, Kane, Newman, Truex, and Keselowski. Gordon was slow. Same old shit. It's just a different race. Gordon has a shitty pit stop. Here we go. Here we go. Super Jimmie running wild. Hamlin picks the inside lane. Dale Jr. looking for a better restart this time. Nope, he didn't get it. He dropped the fourth. Hamlin was a little bit slow on the restart, but he picked up. And then Jimmie Johnson goes by on lap 180. Matt Kenseth needed a caution. Happened. 181. Super Jimmie alert. Where's the debris yellow? Yeah, where's the debris? Like, seriously. Jeff Burton had the right side scraped up. Matt Kenseth got the free pass. Pit again. It was a 6th caution. Martin Truex Jr. was running a 6 after a mediocre run on that little run. Then on lap 186, restart. Darrell Waltrip hinted to Jimmie maybe back and proving that he is Super Jimmie. Well, Super Jimmie booking. Super Jimmie booking. Gordon is not going to end up well. Watch that happen. Cold weather, 45 degrees. Joey Logano's crew had a bike exercise. So if you want to talk more about Jimmie Johnson and the debris yellows, why you hate it, why is it a problem in the sport, especially when you don't see it, go ahead.
Nah, I already gave my opinion out on all of that.
Anything that's on your mind, go ahead or talk. At this point, it's gonna last long or anyway, so go ahead.
All right. I'm just looking around on Google and stuff. I'm gonna go check out Facebook, see if we have any messages on Facebook. I might click on the video, see if we got any comments. Nothing on Facebook. I'm gonna try to see if we got any comments. No comments. Oh well. Sorry if anyone watching this video gets up to this point and thinks this is boring. I can't really think of anything to say right now. I could pop up a picture or something. I mean, what the heck? All
right. Let's get going. All right, let's pick up some business because it's kind of dragging on a little bit. So Harvick had a horrible restart. The outside lane was just not working. So Jimmie Johnson tried to get by him, but Harvick did recover going to 3 and 4. And Matt Kenseth went by Casey Mears for the 18th spot on lap 188. Gordon came out in 16. Super Cena alert. Gordon had a shitty pit stop. Does this mean Gordon's going to have a shitty finish? We'll see. Lap 189, Harvick gets by Denny Hamlin on the back straightaway and pulls away with ease. And also, the last driver to have won after blowing an engine the previous day was Kyle Busch in 2009 in Las Vegas. That's a long time ago. And then Jimmie went by Denny. Logano was in third. He's really not been making noise after dominating the first part of the race. Then they show Fuckboy and Jackass battling for 12th. Who cares? Next. They mentioned Danica Patrick again. Pretty much lost her tachometer. The tachometer was lost because she had an electrical fire and was running at 16th on lap 195. Mind you, not Danica Patrick's best career finish was 6th.
I figured I'd bring this up to you. You find it odd that just before Danica was fixing to go a lap down, the caution came out for debris?
Nope, wasn't in my mind. As Danica Patrick was trying to make it 3 wide with Jeff Gordon and Clint Bowyer. Oh boy, there's Bowyer coming. Gordon and Bowyer. Super Jimmie alert. Dale Jr. goes by Logano for 4th place. And warning, Super Jimmie alert. I told you it was going to happen. Harvick was looking for a second win, and then Jimmie Johnson takes the lead on lap 197. Fuck. Lap 200. Jimmie Johnson leads Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Carl Edwards, Casey Kane, Mark Truex, Ryan Newman, Kyle Larson. Jr. gets by Denny Hamlin to start finish. Danica Patrick tried to get by Clint Bowyer. Gordon was struggling. Super Jimmie alert. Gordon is struggling. And I said to myself, if he barely is in the top 25 in points after this race, it will be a miracle. If you just joined us, I had like a 40-minute break, a 40-minute intermission of some sort. So pretty much, I need to share this again. The 5 moves of doom. Number 1, caution for debris. Number 2, Jeff Gordon has a shitty pit stop or race. Number 3, Jimmie has a strong run. Number 4, Jimmie leads, new leader, 48. Number 5, Jimmie wins, LOL, and Gordon has a shitty finish. Check on number 1. Check on number 2, check number 3, check number 4. Does this mean Jimmie's going to win? We'll see. Danica gets by Bowyer and going into turn number 1 for 14th on lap number 203. This is when Super Jimmie pulled away. Same old shit. Brendan Gugg had no sponsors. Harvick tried to catch Jimmie, but he was stuck because Joe Nemechek was in the way. Nemechek, you had to be in the way. In this case, oh man, here we go. Jimmie Johnson's going to lead the race. Here comes the lap cars trying to interfere with anybody behind him. And Harvick's trying to get by him. At that point, Dale Jr. was 5.78 seconds behind Kevin Harvick and Jimmie Johnson by lap 210. Jimmie Johnson had to deal with Alex Bowman and David Gilliland, and then Andy Petrie focuses on the new track bar option, which has not been working at all, according to him, and there's been a lot of car problems related to the new track bar. Harvick tries to get by Jimmie Johnson, and then you have I suck. I'm an overrated piece of shit. 35. Jimmie takes the lead.
Come on, Colwyn does not suck.
I don't care. I've never been impressed with Colwyn ever. I'll give him some slack in the duels to a certain degree. But Colwyn, you had to get him the fucking way over Harvick. God dang. I was pissed off at this point. Tony Stewart gets lapped and runs in 29th. Now he's 2 laps down. And I said to myself, if he finishes in the top 35 in points after this race, it will be a miracle. Stewart was a flopping mess. Nowhere near in contention. Not even a factor. And I thought to myself, if Jimmie Johnson, they showed Jimmie Johnson that's 1.5 mile circuit wins. Oh man, Super Jimmie's coming. They showed you a stat book. Jimmie Johnson's gonna win the race, right? Because if he does, it will be the 21st 1.5 mile win. Harvick sneaks by Greg Biffle with 109 laps to go as more green flag stops was about to come. Ron Hornaday at this point finishes 42nd. My son, Ron Hornaday, if you finish in the top 35, just finish in the top 35 at one point during the race. I know you're somewhat of a starting park, But please, just have a better outing than you did in 2001 at least. Kyle Larson and Jimmie McMurray were at 10th and 11. I saw it was like, not bad. They need that run. Harvick loses ground pretty much because he wore out his tires. Super Jimmie running wild again. Harvick gets Lewis, almost gets into Jeff Burner, who was 7 laps down at this point. Oh boy, your undisputed Rookie of the Year, 7 laps down, because I don't even consider Matt DiBenedetto a factor of this Rookie of the Year class. Oh boy, here we go. Here come. Where am I? Johnson gets by Josh Wise, so does Kevin Harvick with 104 to go. Carl Evans is the closest competitor with similar lap speed, who was running in 5th. Bourne gets by Almirola running in 12th with 103 laps to go, and Brett Moffitt was the last car in the lead lap running in 20th. So green flag pit stops with 122 to go. Logano, Truex, Burton, and Ambrose came to the pits. I mean Hornish, not Ambrose. Speaking of Marcus Ambrose, I'm going to give you a word. How did Marcus Ambrose do in the V8 Supercar race at Adelaide for the Clipsal 500? Alright, V8 Supercar. I really do not want to talk about Jimmie winning or what happened to Jeff. I really do not want to talk about it. That's why I'm going to give you where did Marcus Ambrose finish? Because I think some people would like to know. Probably not, but I'll give it to you anyways. Alright. Marcus Ambrose. Well, he says he loves the Penske cars. Good for him. Good for him. Clipsal 500 race results. I'm going to give it to you right now. In the first race, Jamie Whincup won. The second race was Fabian Coulthard, related to David Coulthard, but not brothers. James Courtney wins the third race. Marcus Ambrose in the first race, he finished in... Where did he finish? Marcus Ambrose finished 16th out of 25 cars in the first race. And the second race that Coulthard won, where did he finish? 16th out of 25 cars. And in the third and final race, where did he finish? Marcus Ambrose finishes in 12th out of 25 cars. I'm so emotionally tired at this point. And a side note, 9 days, 16 hours, 21 minutes, and 25 seconds till the Australian Grand Prix. And they're promoting the race at Tasmania, which will be a homecoming reunion for Marcus Ambrose. So Marcus Ambrose, yes, he's bad, but I'll give you this. He was a former champion. I'll give him some time. For Marcus Ambrose. That's what happens when you screw up. You have to give information of where he is. Thoughts about Marcus Ambrose, based on what I told you, if any.
Glad he's enjoying what he's doing back where he used to race, and it's gonna take him a while to get used to it because he's been away for a long time. But once he gets the hang of it, I mean, do I see him coming back to NASCAR? He might fill in for maybe a Montoya type role, but full time in NASCAR, no. I think he's done.
Yeah. He was a key factor of why the last couple of years of Watkins Glen was exciting. Anyways, 101 laps to go. Harvick, Hamlin, Allgaier, Gilliland, Newman, Edwards, Keselowski, Boyer, Gordon, Johnson, Moffitt, Kenson, Menard, Biffle entered the pits. And then on lap 225 with 100 to go, it was Annette, Patrick, Almirola, McDowell, McMurray, Larson, Witt, Mears. No, not Mears. Yeah, speaking of Casey Mears took the lead. I was going to say David Reagendale Jr., Yaley, Smith, Bain. Did I say Yaley? I don't know why I wrote 23 twice. I wrote 23 twice, but yes, Yaley win and Casey came. So, Casey Mears' best finish at Atlanta were 12th place twice. Harvick had a better stop than Jimmie Johnson, so guess what? Kevin Harvick takes the lead. Taking the lead. After 230 laps, it was Harvick, Johnson, Jr., Edwards, Logano the top 5. Truex, Hamlin, Newman, Kane, and Keselowski the top 10. Gordon was at 13th, Larson 14th, Danica 18th, Kenseth 19th. Alex Bowman slows down to the pits, almost wrecked Logano, Edwards, Dillon, and Stenhouse. And again, green flag pit stops can produce that kind of shit right at this point. Mears at this point was now the last car in the lead lap in 20th, And the top 5 was Junior, Gordon, Keselowski, Logano, and McMurray. And what I mean by the top 5 was the green flag times via the last sequence of pit stops. And at this point, Gordon was just not making any noise at all. He was not doing really good, in my opinion, that I would hope. Because once I typed out in my notes, Gordon made a bold maneuver and goes by Austin Dillon and David Gilliland as he tried to go by Jamie McMurray for 12. I was thinking, Nasty guys are doing pretty good. They need that run. They need it. They were terrible. They were disappointing at Daytona. Keselowski was still struggling trying to get by cars. His handling issues was becoming a problem. And then Casey Mears hits the wall. Here comes Super Jimmie, but Harvick denies it. Yes! Harvick pulls away from Jimmie, entering lap 240, since according to Larry McReynolds, there was one more green flag pit stop. And according to Larry McReynolds again, out of the last 10 spring races, which the last one dates back to 2010, the last spring races, the last caution was on lap 290. It should be noted that the 2009 and 2010 race, it was later than that. Casey Kim was running an 8th with 82 laps to go, the defending winner based on the fall race. He was at this point consistently in the top 5, running in the top 10, and he was having a little bit of a grill problem because there was so they put a little orange tape on there to handle the problem. By that point on lap number 249, it was 5 p.m. Eastern, so pretty much it was going to be nighttime. It was going to be a night race. If everything goes smoothly, it will be close. And on a random note, the top 5 finishers of the Xfinity Series was Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Ty Dillon, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott. Really good showing for the Xfinity regulars, I'll say that. Pretty good showing. And I assume Chris Buescher is the championship leader after this race. I'm going to go check that right now. Yes, I'm going to give you Xfinity and Truck Series point standings after 2 races. Especially trucks, because they're not going to be running up until Martinsville. So here's the top 10 points. Chris Buescher and Ty Dillon are tied, but Buescher has the better average finish, and he also had a second. So he gets it. I think he has, overall better average finish than Ty Dillon based on Daytona. Ryan Reed is in 3rd, 8 behind. Darrell Wallace 4th, Dakota Armstrong in 5th, Brian Scott 6th, David Starr 7th, Chase Elliott 8th, Ross Chastain 9th, Jeremy Clements 10th, notable drivers, Elliott Sadler 11th, Brendan Gaughan 12th, Regan Smith 14th, Landon Castle 18th, Daniel Suarez 20th. I'm afraid for Suarez, to be brutally honest. I am. Ask Brad Coleman, ask Mark Davis. Remember Mark Davis? Remember Melty Benedetto? I really wish he does well. I wish nothing but the best for him. I really do. Truck Series point standings after 2 races. Tyler Reddick leads the points over Matt Crafton. 2 points the difference. Eric Jones is in 3rd. I'm telling you, Eric Jones has potential. 3rd in points, 7th behind. Johnny Sauter 4th, James Buescher 5th, Brian Silas 6th, Joe Nemechek 7th, Ben Kennedy 8th, Ray Black Jr. 9th, not for long. Corbin Forrester 10th, not for long. Notables, Timothy Peters 11th, damn it. John West Townley 13th, Jennifer Jo Cobb 16th, Noam Bennett 17th, and Austin Terry 20th.
Where's John West Townley?
13th in points.
No!
Okay. Yeah, I understand. John West Townley, he won Daytona, an ARCA race. All right. All right. Junior was running in 3rd. Harvick and Crafton won their races. Harvick won in the 88. Matt Crafton won in the 88. So at this point, you'll be thinking, "Damn, Junior's gonna win. Junior's gonna win. I hope it happens. Junior's gonna win." Some people say that. Me. I knew it was not going to happen. I just knew that. If Kyle Busch can win trucks and Xfinity, he still doesn't win a cup. What makes you think Junior's going to win in the 88? 7th caution. Super Jimmie rises again on lap 253 because there was another debris yellow. Kevin Harvick was making his 8th pit stop. Why do I know it was his 8th pit stop? Because Fox Sports Graphics showed that he made 7 previous stops. Harvick had a 12.1 pit stop, so did Edwards, and Super Jimmie had an 11 point stop. And
how many laps to go? How many laps to go do we have at this point?
My calculations. 70 to go. 72 to go.
Okay, we're not at that debris caution yet with the track official. I want to talk about that when we get there. The one with the
Right.
track official. You know what happened.
I'm
We'll
guessing
get to
that's the
that in a little bit.
I'm guessing that's the caution that I did not took notes. If it happened after Gordon, I did not took many notes after that. Anyways, comes out in first, Harvick in second, Junior in third, Joey Logano in fourth, Carl Edwards in fifth, Keselowski, Hamlin, Kane, Newman, Gordon Ross out of the top 10. There were 21 leads at this point. Martin Truex Jr. had a terrible stop after being in sixth, I believe, 13th out of the pits. And of course, they have to compare it to. I apologize if I keep doing the John Cena music with a fake trumpet because I just don't care. I'm pissed off about this race. Super Cena Red Wild, oh boy. And also, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep actually after this, but I probably, maybe. Anyway, 69 laps to go. 69! Michael Annett was the only one that had a penalty because he went over the wall too soon. I think the crew member went over the wall too soon. And of course, Kevin Harvick has a shitty restart. Dale Jr. I said Jr. went by. I was like, yes, get by him, Jr. Get by him, Jr. And then, let me describe this next scene. Don't spoil the rain. Let me build it up. Let me build it up. Let me see. What this next moment reminds me of? Let me compare this moment. Let me compare this upcoming moment to this. Because
let's just say this upcoming moment when it happened, my friend Kyle Petrie, who's a big Gordon fan, let's just say my friend Kyle Petrie went into Cena wins. LOL.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you what you want. We're not gonna give you. We're not gonna help Gordon, goddammit, because I am back. I took the keys of NASCAR. So if y'all win, nobody wins because I am Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Goddammit. So Gordon's gonna wreck. Gordon gets fucked by McMahon because McMahon does not know how to drive a damn race car. Come on, Vince.
But Vince, if nobody wins, then how do you explain what Jimmie did?
Jimmie Johnson had a great pit stop because he was John Cena.
Hey Vince, when are you gonna have John Cena and Jimmie Johnson hang out on an episode of Raw?
Jimmie Johnson will be a great man in our business because we know how to run a business like no other. We're not out of touch. Who the hell took off my screen? Vince, I told you how many times. I told you how many times I had to tell you. The game wants Kevin Harvick to win the. God damn it! If Brock Lesnar walks out of Raw, I don't want him. If you want to talk about what the whole ordeal about Brock Lesnar, go ahead. For those who don't know, Brock Lesnar was at UFC 184. And also, if you want to talk about what happened at UFC 184, let's talk about UFC 184 before we talk about Gordon.
Let's just say UFC 184. Ronda Rousey. 14 seconds. Yeah. 14 seconds.
Hey, Daniel Bryan, it's okay. Your match was 4 seconds longer than that one.
Yeah.
Only for him to have a rematch with Sheamus, most likely. I have not been watching Raw for over a month, so I have no idea of any storylines, but any thoughts of... If you want to talk more about what happened to Gordon, go ahead. I'm pretty sure you already did.
Well, let's just say my friend Kyle Petrie, who is a big Gordon fan, was in the Facebook chat when Gordon wrecked. Let's just say my friend Kyle had a nice... Well, I'm not going to say nice. Let's just say my friend Kyle Petrie went into explosion mode. A.K.A. furious. He went into full anger mode. He went into Hulk mode in the Facebook chat. He's like, fuck Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin sucks. Fuck the 11. Blah, blah, blah. No driving piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah. Kyle was pissed. You wanna know what made him even more pissed off? When Jimmie won the race.
Yep. Yep. This picture. Right there.
If you think Gordon wrecking made him mad, you should have seen him in the Facebook chat when Jimmie won.
I can see why Kyle didn't want to join. I wouldn't, but I would.
Kyle Petrie hates Jimmie Johnson with a passion. I'm not talking about hate Jimmie Johnson because he doesn't like him. I'm talking hate Jimmie Johnson to the point where he wishes Jimmie Johnson was dead.
Somebody doesn't want what I want. If you don't like Jimmie, you're fired. Because what I want is Jeff Gordon out of this company. He ruined my image. He ruined my career. I don't want him no more. That's why I told McMurray to wreck him.
But Vince, you had Gordon in your company for over 20 years. Why didn't you get rid of him before?
What about Bret Hart? He lasted there almost 20 years before he screw him. I was the one behind the streak. It was me, Mark. It was me all along, Mark. I wanted the streak to end. It was me, Cesaro. I don't want you. You're not. You don't have it. That's why you're going to lose to John Cena with Hulk Hogan on the Raw after WrestleMania. Anyways, let's be real. Let's be real at this point. The wreck happened. Gordon was out. I knew Gordon was going to be outside the top 30 in points. I knew, in my mind, I was thinking 1996. I said, fuck this shit, fuck this shit. Hamlin, McMurray, Newman. I said, fuck this season, give Jimmie the title. Yes, second round of the year, I already said, give Jimmie the title. Hamlin got loose, fucks up the whole field. Well, he did got loose. I didn't say he fucked up the whole field, unlike Keselowski did, but he pretty much got loose, turned around. McMurray clips into Gordon. And for the first time since 1996, Jeff Gordon falls outside the top 30 in points after 2 rounds.
But we all know what happened in '96.
Yeah, he rebounded at Richmond and still lost the title to Terry Labonte. Had it not been for that shitty 2 races, had it not been for the big one at Talladega, Gordon would have won the title easily. And I believe Phoenix as well. I don't know.
Think about that. Gordon would have won 4 straight titles. 95, 96, 97, 98.
Oh, he would have won 5 titles had he not had that bad run in the middle in 1999. Started at Texas, finished 43rd. Gordon is prone to bad wrecks. He's prone. Texas 1999, Las Vegas 2007, that wreck in Richmond in 2012 if I recall, Pocono 06, Watkins Glen 2009. What else am I missing? The flip at Daytona.
Texas a couple of years ago. Texas a couple of years ago.
Don't talk about hard hits. Talk about hard hits that I remember. The fuckery of 2010, the fuckery of 2014. Do I need to go on about this bullshit?
Hold up, Otto. I thought you said you would never talk about. I thought you said you would never talk about he who should not be named. That race.
What race?
The he who should not be named race.
I didn't reference it. Everybody knows. That's why I said the fuckery of 2010, the fuckery of 2014. I did not reference it that much, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Jeremy Mayfield for a moment. It's like Mayfield did not win any of those races that I mentioned. Anyways, back to this. So I pretty much said worst start since. This is what I said on quote. Worst start since 1996 by far. McMurray disappointed me big time. Gordon 41st, of course. and it appears to be 34th in points. This season is bad and weird that Cole Witt is well ahead of Gordon. Cole fucking Witt ahead of Gordon. Enough said. Enough said.
And you want to say you don't like Cole Witt.
Fucking Parker Kligerman should be in this series. My opinion. He wants his due. Oh, come on. I hope he makes it to Indy cars and blows and find a way to be successful in Indy cars. I really hope it.
Only
Take a shove at a Witt.
Only thing people are gonna remember about Parker Kligerman, him having a Muppet on the hood of his car, and him flipping over in the catch fence at Daytona.
Association. That's all I gotta say. How Cole Witt is still in Cup. Association. That's it. Because you drove for Junior, but I'm not even gonna go there. And I pretty much said, shut the hell up about Vegas, Richmond, Pocono, Watkins Glen, and you know why? Booking is running really wild. So one part of number 5 is almost checked, but can Jimmie win? We'll see about that. I know who won. I'm just trying to make it suspenseful because this is just a fuckery of a race. I said in my point, done taking notes. This race gets a 0 out of 10 rating. 5 out of 10 if Jimmie doesn't win. Did I still take notes? Yes, I did. 63 to go was the restart. Here, listen to this very closely. This is where Jeff Gordon was after 2 races, year by year by year by year. 1993, 16th. 1994, 11th. 1995, 7th. 1996, 43rd after Rockingham. 1997, 3rd. He was the championship leader. 1998, he was 3rd. 99, 11th. 22nd in 2000. 2001 is 7th. 4th in 02. 13th in 03. 5th in 04. 10th in 05 because he had the engine problem in Fontana later in the race. 15th in 06. Started in 07. Oh yeah, the 2007 season that everybody forgets about. When Gordon had 30 out of 36 top 10 finishes. I know in percentage-wise 98 was better when it comes to him finishing in the top 10, but I digress. 15th in 08, 2nd in 09, 21st in 10. Fuck 2010, by the way, in all aspects. I don't know how in the world Gordon was in 2nd in points going into Richmond in 2010 with Harvick the championship leader. I don't know how. 2011, 5th. 23rd in 2012. 8th in 2013. Last year he was 3rd. And after this race, 35th in points. So basically 1996, 2000, 2012, and 2010 were the only times Jeff Gordon was outside the top 20 after 2 races. This is easily his worst start since 96. And it's not because he's had shitty cars, it's because he had bad luck. He hit on a part where there's no safer barriers. Now the question is concerned, well, Gordon was okay. The question, and Kyle Busch buried the fuck out of NASCAR safety on Twitter regarding what happened to Gordon. Let me go find that. Let me read what Kyle Busch said on Twitter. They still have it. In fact, I retweeted it, by the way.
You can screen share it.
I'm gonna read it. All right, this is what Kyle Busch said. Pretty convenient to see the safer barrier end just before Jeff Gordon Webb pounds wall. Hope he's healthy. When will this end, NASCAR? Like, seriously, when will it end?
I went on a little rant earlier. I'm pretty sure you heard about me and going off on the concrete walls and the safety. What's your thoughts on that?
Didn't fucking care. Gordon wrecked. No fucks given at this point in the race. If Gordon is done, he's done. I don't care as long as I can be content with somebody winning, not named Logano, Keselowski, Boyer, and Jimmie, and Jeff Burton.
What's your thoughts on all these concrete barriers and stuff? Do you think NASCAR needs to step up and do something?
If the drivers are criticizing it about it, they should listen to the drivers.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if somebody gets seriously hurt?
They already
What's
had
gonna
Kyle
happen if
Busch.
somebody gets hurt worse than Kyle?
They
No,
may
I meant what if somebody gets hurt worse than Kyle?
pretty much have to wake up. If they don't do anything about it, they're gonna keep criticizing NASCAR more and more. That's simple. In fact, this is Jeff Gordon's first DNF since the 2013 Coke Zero 400, which was won by Jimmie Johnson. Won that race. Go figure. Go figure. Johnson wins today. It was Gordon's first DNF since the race Johnson won in 2013, which I did not saw because I was a camp, but I knew about it. It's not looking good. Not looking good. Vegas is hit or miss with Gordon. I know he won there in 01. Hit or miss. He's usually mediocre at Vegas and sometimes, but
If he had the bad finish at Vegas, would his season be necessarily over?
he needs to be in the top 30, and he really needs to stay in the top 35. The fact that he's almost failed to qualify twice. His championship provision is no longer good. With Labonte on the run of the play tracks, he's the least recent champion in NASCAR, 01. He's fucked. He needs to not have any shit luck in qualifying either. He's fucked. Gordon is screwed. I'm guaranteeing you that. If he runs out, if qualifying doesn't go really well, I hope it does. I shouldn't be worried about it. But if something fucked up happens where it screws up a lot of drivers, then he's fucked.
Speaking of Gordon, you know that commercial you told me about that girl wearing the Gordon shirt and the girl wearing the Brad shirt? They showed that during the race today. I had to laugh when I saw that.
No, when I saw it, I was like,
she opens the doors.
Sadly, it's a one-off rivalry, so yeah. Anyways, Carl Edwards had a flat tire with 52 to go. Nobody's going to stop Super Jimmie, of course. He's pulling away from Dale Jr. at lap 283. Dale Jr. was over 1.5 seconds behind Jimmie Johnson. 10 laps later, 2.003. Final green flags pit stops was about to happen. So I put, who cares? The race is given to Jimmie. I like to say that, but obviously not. Brett Moffitt. Brett, remember the name Moffitt, led a lap. He was running a 12 prior to pit stops to start. He was doing really well. He was staying on the lead lap except for a couple of laps. So I thought, good for him, because I know Vickers was going to drive afterwards. And he ends up 11th with 12 cars on the lead lap on lap 296. And then the caution comes out on lap 299. 26 lead change. And after 300 laps, it was Kenseth, Boyer, Moffitt, Johnson, Kane, Jr., Logano, Truex, Keselowski, Allmendinger, 13 cars on the lead lap. Lap 304 was the restart. Matt Kenseth stay out of the pits. What is your thought? I'm guessing this is the caution that you were referring to.
Oh, the caution with 20 laps to go. Well, it was a re-caution, and this is perhaps I give this a 10 out of 10. This was the best part of the race, the best moment of the race. The track official, I don't know if you saw it, the track official got out of the truck, bent down to pick the debris up, and as he was running back to the truck, I don't know what he tripped on. He might have tripped on the pavement. I don't know what the heck he tripped on. I don't know what it was, but he tripped and fell, and instead of falling on his stomach, because no offense, he was fat, he fell on his ass.
I guess that's what the sharing that video I saw on Twitter. Well, I didn't saw it on Twitter. I wish I could show you. I wish I could show you the 2001 UAW GM Quality 500 because there was a crew member from Sterling Marlin, which I'll reference about Marlin in a moment. One of the crew members fell on his ass in the grass, celebrating.
You did not see that during the
No,
race.
I
You did
stopped
not see
watching the
that.
Fox. I stopped watching the Fox Sports coverage. I was listening to PRM because the fucking server sucks. Couldn't see it
What
on
server were
Fox
you
Go.
watching?
Tried to watch it on Fox Go, couldn't get it, so I had to rely on the PRN broadcast for the most part.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I was just pissed off about the race at this point.
I was what? I didn't watch it on Fox Sports Go. I went to go watch it on some website I used to watch TV and stuff. No, it's not pirate. Just to let people know, it's not pirate television. They don't show pay-per-views and stuff on there. All they show is regular TV, and you have to sign
Alright,
up for it, which I did.
alright. Let's not get off track of where we watch stuff. But anyways, I will say this. I saw
I
on
wish you
Twitter. I
would.
saw a
I wish
tweet
you would have seen
regarding
it. I
there
wish
was.
you would have seen it. You would have laughed your.
We'll see. Coming to a Botchamania near you if they ever make one in NASCAR, which they
I
do.
think it's
But they
on
need a
YouTube.
fucking intro.
Try to go find it on YouTube. I think it's somebody uploaded it on YouTube. It fell on it.
By the way, whoever made that tweet with the Chariots of Fire, alright. Still think Chariots of Fire is the most overrated music score of all time. It's overdone, redundant, overused. Don't care about Chariots of Fire. Fuck it. And I'm being real about that one. I don't fucking care about Chariots of Fire. It's an overrated score, in my opinion. Give me Flight of the Valkyries over that.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to bring this up. You know how you brought up in the past about Hendrick hasn't had a losing season since 1985 or something?
Yeah, the last time Hendrick did not win a race. Oh, horrible.
Well, looks like that streak's gonna continue.
I knew it was going to continue, but it had to be Cena? Really? Cena? Oh, wait. Wrong sport. Oh, wait. Not even a sport. Sort of. I don't know. But whatever you want to view it. Scripted, fake, whatever. Jimmie Johnson. It's one thing that he won the duels. Fine. It's one thing that it was a race. And the fact that Jimmie Johnson already won and Jeff Gordon's already fucking struggling should tell you a lot. A lot. If you don't like what I'm doing, why are you still watching? God damn it! Well, I watch it for the love of the sport. Yeah, I can have a love interest. No, wrong story. I can root for whoever I want. I can boo whoever I want. If I don't want to root for Jimmie, fine. I don't want to root for him. I've got to cut him some slack in some aspects. But the fact it's a new season and it's still Jimmie Johnson, I don't care. Anyways, Clint Boyer was down a cylinder and then takes the lead from Matt Kenseth. And then here comes the big one. 10th caution, Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, Clint Boyer, Kyle Larson,
Thank you, Biffle. Thank you, Biffle. I mean that in an offensive way.
Stenhouse, Nemechek, Smith, and in turns 3 of 4, I just put Ricky Stenhouse, bust. Tony Stewart, awful. Bad race. Kyle Larson, again, having that bad start in the year. He really, really needs to step it up. So does Jamie McMurray in Vegas. I still think they can make the chase, but they're not proving themselves because of bad luck. And when the red flag came out, I said, yep, it's going to end the night for sure. And I started after that, I was like, can this race just be fucking over? I was done with this race a long time ago. Thoughts on the big one. There's a video out there, I think What If Racing made the video regarding that. If you put Greg Biffle, and there's a video called Bug Eye Dummy. Hold on. Before you say anything, right? Walls got wrecked by a Bug Eye Dummy. The Cool Slide Dogs got wrecked by a Bug Eye Dummy. If you're going down the corner, you got to give or take. You're going to go too early on the racetrack. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go type in Sterling Marlin 2004 Series Epic Win.
Revan Laterus on the Facebook North page made a document called Number of Cars Greg Biffle has wrecked this year. You want to know what number Greg Biffle's at of cars he's wrecked this year?
How many?
22. Same number as Logano.
Well, this is the second time the 41 and the 14 was involved in a Biffle incident. Remember the Sprint Unlimited? Kurt Busch's
Yup.
last race? No. It's his second to last race because he did drove in the duels. Well, I got roller by dummy. There we go. Much better Sterling. I used to do a good Sterling Marlin impression back in the day. Biffle got loose. I guess he got loose and collected a couple cars. Paul Menard gets the free pass after 300 after the red flag period. Almirola and Edwards gain spots with 14 to go. Because Brett Moffitt went to the pits, if I recall. Johnson leads, Kenseth second, Junior third, Truex in fourth, Harvick fifth, Logano sixth, Allmendinger seventh, Newman eighth, Moffitt ninth, Almirola 10th. Before it was Almirola, Edwards in the bottom two. My curious question: when was the last time there was back-to-back red flags to start off the year?
I can't remember.
2011 was the big one in the Daytona 500 in 2011 with Michael Waltrip and Jeff Gordon red flag. Was that red flagged? I'm not sure if that one was red flagged. I'm going to go check that right now, actually. 2011 Daytona 500. Well, my curious question, why do you think it's rigged, that one? And my curious question, why 1998? I'm just curious. Let me see. I think it was red flagged. I swear it was.
40th Daytona 500, 50th anniversary of NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt 20th try, and he wins it. Coincidence?
I see it differently, actually. Was this race red flagged at all? I don't think it was. I swear the 2011 race was red flagged. So I know 2012 there was not a red flag that I recall, unless that's the one that Danica Patrick hit the wall at Phoenix in 2012 that brought out the red flag. Let me see, Phoenix, 2012. No, that's where Danica. Wait, what year am I thinking? What race am I thinking that Danica Patrick hit the wall in the second race? I'm thinking of 2013 or 14. I'm thinking of the wrong race, am I? Yes, I am. Last time there was a red flag for the first two races of the year. I don't know. I can't look it back up right now. But yes, I think it's been a while since there was two straight red flag races, actually. Anyways, lap 311 leads the restart. Junior and Jimmie battles for the lead. Harvick tries again. Super Jimmie retains the lead. Dale Jr. was turning to look for his first win since the 2004 Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta, but I already knew it was not going to happen. Super Jimmie pulls away. Harvick gets by Jr. And coming to the checker flag, Jimmie Johnson wins the race. John Cena sucks. He really does. Jimmie Johnson doesn't suck. I just don't like him when he wins. John Cena does suck, though. I'll give him that. Alright, the final results of this horrendous race. Predictable. Well, not really predictable, but kind of became that way. Anyways, here is the final results of the 2015 Fulls of Honor QuikTrip 500. 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 6 seconds. Average speed, 131.078 miles an hour. 10 cautions for 54 laps. 28 lead changes. Margin of victory, 1.802 seconds. Typical Jimmie Johnson margin of victory. He led 92 laps. His money earnings is $335,901. Kevin Harvick finished second. He led the most laps, 116. Dale Jr. led a lap for third. Logano led 84. Kenseth led 10 laps for fifth. Martin Truex Jr. in sixth. A.J. Allmendinger 7th. Brett Moffitt in 8th. I knew he could do it. That's why I say remember the name Brett Moffitt, because who knows if he'll be around in 3 years. I hope he is, but who knows. Brad Keselowski in 9th. Newman 10th. Almirola 11th, Edwards 12th, Menard 13th, Casey Kane 14th, Mears 15th, not bad for Mears, 16th, Danica Patrick, Ricky Smith 17th, David Reagan 18th, Trevor Rain 19th, Justin Allgaier 20th, not bad for Allgaier, 21st, Hornets 22nd, David Gilliland 23rd, Alex Bowman 24th, Clint Boyd 25th, Greg Biffle 26th, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell 27th, Brendan Gong 28th, Michael Annette 29th, Tony Stewart in 30th, Mike Bliss 31st. Mind you not, he led 2 laps. Joe Nemechek 33rd. Josh Weiss 32nd. JJ Haley 34th. Jeff Burton 35th. He finished 9 laps down. So did JJ Haley. Facepalm. 36th, Ricky Stenhouse. 37th, Cole Witt. He lost an engine? When did that happen? Still doesn't help that he's ahead over Gordon. 38th, Danny Hamlin, Austin Dillon, 39th. Jamie McMurray, 40th. Jeff Gordon, 41st. God damn it. I watched the 2002 Chevy Monte Carlo 400. He finished 40th. Jeff Burton finishes 39th. 239 laps down. He still beat Gordon in 02. Difference is I didn't watch NASCAR until 03, so I'm okay with it. Still sucks that Gordon finished out of racing that one, considering he was second in points and he won back-to-back, looking for his third win because he won Bristol and Darlington. Started Martin hit the wall, finished last. So that's where his downfall began. Anyways, Ron Horner Jr. 42nd, Landon Castle 43rd, 7th time of his career. It wouldn't really matter because he has 0 points. All right. Average green flag run 24.6. The 16.6 was under yellow. Alright, Jimmie Johnson took the lead on lap 305 for the final lead change. Here is the top 16. Chase where to start now. Here's how it would go. Joey Logano leads Jimmie Johnson by 1 point. Kevin Harvick third by 2. Dale Jr. 4th, 4 points behind. Mark Truex Jr. in 5th. Casey Mears in 6th. Casey Kane 7th. AJ Allmendinger 8th. Eric Almirola 9th. Clint Boyd 10th. David Gilliland 11th. Sam Morris Jr. in 12th. Not bad. Still could do a little bit better, though. Greg Biffle, 13th. Carl Edwards, 14th. David Reagan, 15th. And Danica, what a maneuver! Patrick in 16th. Paul Menard, 17th. Matt Kenseth, 18th. Denny Hamlin, 19th. Michael Annette rounds out the top 20. Something wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture of the top 20, considering where Gordon is right now in points?
No Gordon, no Kyle, no... Not... Was Brad in there or no?
No, Keselowski's still not in the top 20. Here's
Kurt, no Kurt, no Kyle, no Gordon.
Listen. Nope. I'm gonna go run down the point standings as all the drivers right now. Ryan Newman 21st, Trevor Bayne 22nd, Keselowski 23rd, Brett Moffitt 24th, Austin Dillon 25th, Allgaier 26th, Michael McDowell 27th, Cole Witt 28th, Kyle Larson 29th, Ricky Stenhouse 30th, Alex Bowman 31st, Jamie McMurray. We have a problem here. Kyle Larson, Jamie McMurray, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon are behind Cole Witt, are behind Austin Dillon, are behind Ricky Stenhouse Jr. except for Larson. 31st, Alex Bowman. 32nd, Jimmy McMurray. Bobby Labonte, 33rd. Michael Waltrip, 34th. Michael fucking Waltrip ahead of Jeff Gordon in points. Tony Stewart, 36th. Josh Weiss, 37th. Reese Sorensen, 38th. Jeff Burton, 39th. Mike Wallace, 40th. Ron Horner Jr., 41st. Mike Wallace is dead last in the points as far as eligible drivers. 51 has competed so far. Regan Smith, Landon Castle, J.J. Haley, Johnny Sauter, Joe Nemechek, Brendan Gong, Ty Dillon, Mike Bliss, Ryan Blaney, and Matt Crafton, all driven, but they're not eligible for points. Listen to these names that are ahead of Gordon. David Gilliland, Danica Patrick, Michael Annette, even though I do like Annette. Justin Allgaier, do like Allgaier. Cole fucking Witt. Alex Bowman.
Hey.
Bobby Labonte. Oh, he drove 1 star, so I'll give him a leeway. Michael Waltrip. Jeff Gordon's average finish is 36. Jeff Gordon's average start is 18th. Tony Stewart's average start 23rd. Tony Stewart's average finish is 36. Tony Stewart has a better average finish than Jeff Gordon. You know who has a worse average finish as far as drivers with points than Jeff Gordon? Jeb Burton. Oh, wait, no, wrong category. Ron Hornaday has a worse average finish than Gordon. 42nd. J.J. Yaley has the same average finish as Gordon. Ryan Blaney has a worse average finish than Gordon. The fact that you have Ryan Blaney and Ron Hornaday with the worst average finish after 2 races, and Gordon tied with fucking J.J. Yaley. This race gets a 0. No. Let's be real. 1.75 out of 10 because Jimmie won. Realistically, 4 out of 10. Nothing exciting to say. Shoutouts to Brett Moffitt, Martin Truex Jr., and Casey Mears. Disappointments: Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Jamie McMurray, Kyle Larson.
What are your
Ricky
awards?
Jr. What the fuck? Cole Witt, Denny Hamlin, Jamie McMurray, Greg Biffle, Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson. Fails: Tony Stewart, Ricky Stenhouse, Ron Hornaday, Landon Castle. The debris yellows, the 5 moves of dudes. Gordon has the worst average finish. Has the third worst average finish next to Hornaday and Ryan Blaney.
Surprise driver of the race. Perhaps Moffitt.
Besides Moffitt, I'd probably give it. I close it down. Casey Mears maybe, but Casey Mears is still 6th in the points. David Gilliland is still hanging in there so far. But anyways, that's all I got. Final thoughts before we wrap up this marathon. It's not really a marathon. Well, yes, because we kind of dragged on in the middle because I had to take care of something.
No.
All right, till we meet again. One more time. I need to get it. Fuck this race. Fuck Cena.
I can't do Rapido. I can't do it good. Dadgummit.
Alright, fuck this race, fuck Cena, till we meet again. Hopefully Vegas is better. Ganassi needs to step it up, Gordon needs to step it up, Tony needs to step it up, Stenhouse needs to step it up, Brett, he needs to get by Cole Witt. Enough is enough. Super Cena won. Jimmie Johnson wins. LOL. Alright, we get it. You can talk about your 7th championship, but we'll see what happens. And Brett Moffitt, good for you. Great run. We hope you do well wherever car you are, but you proved yourself that you could do well in a pretty good car. Let's see where your future stands, but good for you. Until we meet again, fuck Cena.